Artzooka!
Hey, I'm Jeremie. Let's Artzooka. Let's make a piece of art that not one other person on Earth, other than you, will be able to create. I won't be able to create what you make, and you won't be able to create what I make. Do you want to know why? Because no two people have the same thumbprint. Let's make some thumbprint art. We'll start with some different colored craft foam, which I've cut into squares. And then a little bit of ink that I put in a cup. Now this cup has just enough room for me to put my thumb or finger in. So I'll press my thumb into the ink and then onto the craft foam. And check it out. My thumb. And no one else in the world has the same lines on their thumb. Fingers too. These lines are mine and mine only. Let's make another one. This time, let's smudge it. The more you smudge it, the less it'll look like your thumbprint. You can make as many of these as you want. They look cool when they're all together like this. Wonder what it would look like bigger? Here's one that's dry. Let's put it on the scanner and enlarge it. And remember, if you're going to put your thumbprint or any other fingerprint onto your scanner, make sure it's really dry first. How cool is this? Now that's a thumb portrait. Only the artist Jeremie could have possibly made this. These are the rest of my fingerprints. Jeremie Originals. Amazing art, and it's right at your fingertips. I love these art pieces because they are one of a kind. You can make your own thumbprint art using different colored craft foam cut into squares and some ink or paint. I made a bunch of thumbprints and fingerprints and then put the squares together to make this great pattern. When your thumb or fingerprint is dry, you can scan and enlarge it. The best part? These are unique. No one else in the world can make this art except you. We have lots more super ideas like this on our website at artzooka.com.
Artzooka! Art?
Check these out. Hey, Bluebird. Yeah, you're eating a worm. Oh, and hey, here comes the little radish guy. You guys are making me hungry. Let's make another puppet, one that looks like a plate of spaghetti. Now that is Artzooka. Now what have I got in my trunk of junk here? Oh, string. This is perfect. Now this will really look like spaghetti, but first I need a plate. I think I've got one somewhere in here. Here we go. So I'll take my string and put it right on the plate. That looks like spaghetti. Let's add some glue. The glue will make the string stick together so it stays in the shape of a pile of spaghetti. And now, with my fork and my fingers, I'll just mix that up. And I'll twirl it around to make it look like a big mess of spaghetti. Then with my fingers, I'll just keep working the glue into the string like this. This spaghetti needs some sauce, and this red and orange yarn will work perfectly. So first, let's dip all of this yarn into a bowl of glue. And now I'll place it right on top. And this gets really, really sticky. So your fingers are gonna stick to the yarn like this. And with my fork, I'll just add some more. And once you have it all mixed up, it looks like our spaghetti has tomato sauce. Now I'm gonna grab 4 strings, and these strings will make great arms and legs. Even a spaghetti puppet needs arms and legs. Here's one end here, that can be one leg. And that can be another leg right there. I'll make the arms extra long, and I'll show you why later. This stuff really sticks. Once all of the arms and legs are in place and we let this dry, it'll look like this one here. What does this need? Meatball eyes. Now, what do meatball eyes look like? Styrofoam. Just watch. Break off a piece of the styrofoam like this, and then get rid of the sharp corners. And basically just shape it out into a nice ball shape. And then once you're done that, it's round like a meatball and like an eyeball. Meatballs are brown, so let's paint our meatball eye brown. Take my meatball eye and a fork, and I'd poke the fork into the meatball eye like that. And then dip it into the paint. Once I've covered all of it and I let it dry, it'll look a little bit like these I did earlier. You can see they dry darker, and you can see the little styrofoam flakes. And look at this. On the other side, I painted them and put little black dots for pupils. These are just about ready to eat. Well, I actually wouldn't eat these ones because they're styrofoam. But I can put them right on top of my string spaghetti. I can put those there. And just like that, we've got a spaghetti face. This spaghetti puppet needs something else. I think I'm going to make him into a spaghetti cowboy. How about we start off with a hat? I made him a 10-gallon hat out of fun foam and felt. And I can just glue that right there. And now I'll give him a mustache. And the mustache is made out of felt. And I can put that right there. Let's give him some boots. And for the boots, I did the same thing. Took some felt, cut out the shape of boots. But if we make a boot sandwich like this, it actually looks like he's wearing the boot. I made all of these decorations out of felt and fun foam, but you can decorate these any way you like. A fork and a spoon. Remember when I said the string for the arms should be long? That's so we can have enough string to tie the fork and the spoon to them. If we tie these onto the string, these will actually dangle like arms. And look at this. On the fork, I took some extra yarn and tied it around so it looks like it's holding spaghetti. If I glue all of this into place, it'll look like this fella right here. Let's make him dance. I took a couple of popsicle sticks and taped them together. Then I added some string. And now I can add my spaghetti meatball man to the sticks. first, tape this string to his hat. Then tape one to the spoon. Then tape the third string to the fork. And now, watch him dance. This is one time it's okay to play with your food. We have this project and lots more at artzooka.com.
Art?
Hey Jeremy, my name's Ruben. I challenge you to make something out of backyard toys. Can you do it?
It's a good question, Ruben. Let's see what we can do. A bowling pin, some plastic toys. I've got an idea. It's a rock star. It's all in how you look at it. Okay, show of hands. Raise your hand if you have something printed on your t-shirt. Come on, get those hands up. Look, I have one too. Most of the time when you see a t-shirt that has any design printed on it, it's been silkscreened. Let's silkscreen a t-shirt. You can silkscreen using cardboard and old curtain. I used an old curtain, but you can use any fabric that's thin enough for paint to go through. Here's the t-shirt that I'm going to print on. It's pirate black, but yours can be any color you like. Underneath, I'm putting some paper between the layers of the t-shirt. Sometimes the paint goes right through the first layer of the t-shirt, so this will protect it. It's important that it's flat though, or the design might not be quite right. I've made a rectangle out of masking tape so I know where to put my pirate design. We're almost ready to print. We need one more thing, a design. You can use any shape you want to make a picture. Cut them out of recycled magazines or construction paper. I made these out of wax paper. I've cut out a pirate face. So here's a big mouth with an arty tooth. And then here, this is the best part, a ruler and a paintbrush. We need to make the silk screen. We'll start with this frame. This is a cardboard frame that I covered in yellow duct tape. I covered it with the tape to make it stronger and waterproof. That way I can reuse it. The fabric needs to be taped onto the frame. The trick is to stretch it tightly over the frame. Remember, I used an old curtain, but you can use silk or any other thin fabric that lets paint squish through. You might want to get some help making your screen. You have to check to make sure when you put your screen down, you can still see all of the design. Once it's all lined up, tape the frame onto the table because you'll need both of your hands for silk screening and you don't want the frame to move around. Now for the paint. I'm gonna take this paint bottle and drizzle it all over the top, along this line right here. I'm using craft paint. You can use any kind of permanent paint as long as it's not too thick or too runny. You want to use lots so you don't run out halfway through the design. I'm using so much that it's squeezing out of the sides here. That should do it. For this part, I need a squeegee, and that's a tool that drags the paint evenly across the design. And the cool part is you can use a ruler for this. I'm gonna put my ruler right behind the paint, and with both hands, drag it down. And the paint gets squished right through the little holes in the fabric. The white paint will stick to the parts of the t-shirt that aren't covered with waxed paper, but it won't stick to the waxed paper. I'm gonna turn it around and drag it across to the other side. I want to make sure all the paint gets squished through evenly. I'll do a third pass. Now I can take the frame off the shirt. First, lift the duct tape from the table. You'll want to make sure you've wiped any paint off your hands first. Once all the tape has been peeled up, I can lift the frame up. And check it out. Wow, it looks great. But we're not quite finished yet. I just need to peel off the masking tape here. See how perfectly straight the line is? That's because of the masking tape. Your friends will never be able to tell the difference between a shirt you bought at the store or a shirt you made yourself. And when I'm finished, now that's Artzooka. It's great fun to silkscreen your own t-shirt. You need a plain t-shirt and a design. Cut your design out of wax paper and place it on the shirt. Then you'll need a frame. I made a frame out of cardboard that I covered in duct tape to make it strong. And I taped a sheer curtain in the middle. You can use any fabric that's thin enough so that paint will go through it. Place your frame over the t-shirt and tape it to the table so it doesn't move. Then pour lots and lots of paint in a line on one end. I used a ruler to drag the paint so it spreads across the t-shirt. Gently press down as you drag the paint, then turn your ruler around and drag the paint the other way. When you peel off the frame and the wax paper, your design is revealed. We have this project and lots more at artzooka.com.
Artzooka!
And now time for an Artzooka safety message. Remember, when working with balloons, be sure to stay away from prickly plants. For my Artzooka Recycle Challenge, I challenged myself to make something out of a computer mouse and combs. I put them in a movie starring Paper Bag. Come on and see what I made. I also put something else in my movie, a soft, fuzzy pillowcase. See if you can spot where I put it. Now, sit back and enjoy Cinema Artzooka. Here's the computer mouse. And here are the combs. Can you guess what it's going to be? It's a helicopter. Now let's see it in a movie. Did you like the movie? I made a helicopter out of a computer mouse and some combs. Hey, did you spot the pillowcase? Take another look at where I put it. My challenge to you is make something out of a computer mouse and combs. Be creative, anything goes. And when you do, take a picture and email it to me at the Artzooka website, artzooka.com. What will you Artzooka today?